quick little video about how to make some sauerkraut. Obviously we'll need some cabbage, some high quality salt using Himalayan pink sea salt, and a scale. So you want a teaspoon of salt per half pound of cabbage. Obviously we'll need a teaspoon to measure with, knife to cut up your cabbage. The bigger you leave the cabbage, the more crunchy the sauerkraut will be once it ferments. So I kind of did a mix of smaller pieces to bigger pieces just to see how it will turn out. So once you add salt in here, you want to mix it in, because it'll bring out the moisture in the cabbage. So you'll do this for a couple of minutes or however long it takes to kind of draw all the moisture out and get all the salt soaked up by the cabbage. Oops. And then see how wet my hand's getting? That's what you want. And then so once that's all the way done, you'll transfer it to your mason jar, and then you can use whatever instrument you want to tamp it down, because ultimately you want the cabbage to be covered in its own liquid basically. So this is just a plunger from the blender. It works really good, but you could use, any number of things. So I'm gonna mix this a little longer, and then we'll see you at this next step. Peace. So this is what about 2 pounds of it looks like once it's all compacted in there, and I'll show you what I'm talking about with the water. See that liquid? You want that to be covering the cabbage and what will soon be sauerkraut, so it's nice and compacted in there. I'm going to put a little bit more in, and then once it's full, you want to make sure that all of the cabbage is submerged in its own juices, if you will. So a good trick to help with that is to use kind of the leftover subpar pieces to put on top to cover it. So I'm going to fill it the rest of the way and then show you what that looks like. And then all you got to do is ferment it, check it every couple of days, make sure it's fully submerged in its own juices, and then wait until it tastes how you like it, and put it in the fridge, and it'll last a couple months, and you'll have some amazing probiotic rich sauerkraut to eat. Well, got it filled up to about the neck of the jar here, and then we got our suboptimal pieces covering it, so we make sure all of the sauerkraut is covered in its own juice. I'm going to put a lid and a band on it, and then we're going to store it in a cool dry spot, in this case my pantry. Check it every couple of days, like I said, to make sure it's still submerged, and then a couple of weeks, maybe a month, depending on how long it takes and how you like it to taste, I should say. And it's easy as that. That's how you make sauerkraut at home. Pretty simple, and then it's really delicious, cheaper than buying it from the store, and you get some good nutrition out of it. What kind of stuff do you like to add to your sauerkraut recipes? I really like this one because it's so simple. Peace. Much love.